So, it's been a hot second since Steven Universe Future wrapped up, and although the series itself has laid dormant, recently we have received an extensive behind-the-scenes look full of juicy tidbits with the release of the new art book, Steven Universe End of an Era. And although a lot of major secrets still haven't been revealed, the art book having no mention of Rose's treasure chest, blacking out the Diamond's origins, and keeping their mouths shut on anything that could happen after the series, we've still received a look at some concepts and ideas that span years throughout the series, and breadcrumbs of cut content from both the original series and Steven Universe Future, one of which being Morganite, the former owner of Rhodonite's components. And with the recent New York Comic-Con online panel, we actually got a synopsis of the cut Rhodonite episode from Steven Universe Future that we touched on a while back. So as I stall for time for my mega Steven Universe Future review, which will probably be the most personal video I ever made, as properly assessing Future for me means talking about why I resonated with Steven's arc so much and thus opening up about my own trauma, let's explore what could have been, and imagine the beautiful 11 minutes that almost was for Steven Universe Future. And before we dive in, quick message from our Patreon. We want to take a moment to thank our amazing patrons who, believe it or not, has really helped us out through 2020 with their support. One of these patrons include Nightly Flare, who's working on a webcomic titled Umbra Bound. Drawing influence from beloved shonen throughout the ages, such as Dragon Ball and Hunter x Hunter, Umbra Bound is traditionally inked like an old-school manga as well, following the chronicles of a god who escaped captivity after being released into the world from an artifact, embarking on a journey to locate the other released spirits and save the universe. If you love action, compelling conflicts, and the atmosphere of 80s, 90s manga, this is the story for you. Link to Umbra Bound and a trailer will be provided in the description below. You can also give Nightly Flare a follow over on their Twitter. Commissions are open. If you want to go the extra mile to support the Roundtable, head over to our Patreon. Shoutouts are our highest tier. Now on to the video. So in the Steven Universe Future section of the art book, we get a peek at Rebecca's concepts for Morganite alongside the ruby and pearl that make up Rhodonite. In this concept, Morganite dons an outfit similar to a kimono, with her hair elongating into ponytail-esque features that give off the illusion of a paintbrush. As it turns out, she's actually a designer on Homeworld, and would have actually been revealed to be the one responsible for creating the Diamond Pelicans. On page 226 of the art book, Sugar explains, over the years, the series has introduced so many characters and their individual threads. With only 20 episodes to wrap things up, there are going to be some tough decisions on whom to check in with one last time. Future does a good job of putting a cap on the stories of a lot of characters, and even managed to introduce some new ones. Inevitably though, some questions remain unanswered, and so many fertile story possibilities had to be set aside. One of the head writers for Steven Universe Future, Jack Pendarvis, then goes on to say, "We went a pretty long way toward developing an interesting story about Rhodonite. It was too good, if that makes sense. Too rich. I mean, the deeper we dug into it, the more there was to the story. It started to seem like a two-parter, I think, and we didn't have much time to spare, considering everything we were putting poor Steven through. Also, it would have been nice to have Steven visit Lars in space. There was a cheeseburger tree that Joe Johnston was championing, Lars searching for a mythical cheeseburger tree in space. Rebecca shut that down instantly and with glee. Honestly, I don't know if Joe really loved the cheeseburger tree, or if after a while, he was just having fun, getting Rebecca to laugh and wince. But once, much later, the phrase hamburger backpack appeared in an outline, and Rebecca made a little correction on the side of the page, cheeseburger, and Joe put a note under that which said, tree. I took a screenshot of it so I could keep it forever. The quote-unquote extra Lars episode would have also been nice because we were planning to include some clues about Diamond prehistory and or gem religion, I suppose you could call it. Very, very early on, there was the idea of the final 4 episodes consisting of a cosmic journey into the origins of the diamonds and gem culture. There was a remnant of that in the Lars idea, and then that episode fell by the wayside, and a lot of these secret ideas went away with it. So there's something else that changed as the complicated, intense nature of Steven's own arc became apparent. Now, I know. With the final episodes of Steven Universe Future already running at a lightning speed pace, though the art book has a lot of telling revelations that, if you weren't content with how Steven Universe proper or Future wrapped up, you'll probably be shocked to hear that homophobia forced Rebecca Sugar to rush the end of the series, Future only getting greenlit because of the movie getting greenlit. Just keep in mind, it seems Cartoon Network was strict about only having 20 episodes for Future, meaning the big climax, I Am My Monster, had to be 11 minutes, and honestly, for the amount of time they did have, the point of the episode was made pretty clear, even if a longer runtime could have gave us more fan servicey moments. But what about that Rhodonite episode? Well, in the New York Comic Con panel, Sugar and company actually explained what it is. Roll the clip.
The idea was that Peridot had created a device that could let you know how many times you'd been rejuvenated. Everyone in Little Homeworld is sort of getting checked out to see if they had these lives that they didn't remember. They try it on Rhodonite. She's been rejuvenated like 17 times, like a lot of times. So what we did in the episode is we delved into her past and tried to have her reclaim all these memories. And then it became this, it's an anthology, but it's all about the same characters, this love story that just keeps happening and happening. The thought would be that every time that the pearl and the ruby that make up Rhodonite found each other and fell in love, that they were then rejuvenated so that they wouldn't remember, but every time they would keep finding each other again. So the issue with this story, it was like 17 episodes crammed into one episode, and it just could not fit.
We really tried to make it work, but it was a lot of design that we just couldn't ask the crew to do.
What could have been. Now again, because Future's existence is anchored to the movie, I would have loved to see this episode. And it definitely feels like a sequel to the movie type deal, with the return of the Rejuvenator as a concept. But alas, they were not able to have it correlate to Steven's story, something that's consistent throughout every episode of Future. Hell, the episode that has the least to do with Steven's story, Why So Blue, still comes back to and parallels Steven, not just because he's present, but because once again, his initial tried and true approach to a situation fell flat on his face. Alongside Labus's ending monologue reflecting how Steven feels about the diamonds, which would later be explored in Homeworld Bound.
I wish I hadn't done that. It's just, they reminded me so much of myself. It's infuriating.
I'm a diamond. I don't want to be you! I don't want to be anything like you!
Look, at the end of the day, this sort of episode would have made sense if Future was a sequel series to Steven Universe, where they had more than 20 episodes, there's a new overarching story that spanned multiple seasons, and the focus for every episode didn't have to come back to Steven. And although they already exposed the story here, who's to say Rhodonite's components and Morganite can't have their stories repurposed into a different installment down the road? It's actually something I want to dig into in a separate video, since again, the art book purposely blacking out the diamond's origins seems like a I'm not done yet move from Rebecca. But at the end of the day, I enjoyed Steven Universe Future. I loved every moment. It really resonated with me. And although I can understandably already hear the comments saying, "What? I would have taken this over a very special episode or Snow Day," I personally wouldn't, because I still appreciate what those episodes had to say. Not just for Steven's arc, but for overexerting yourself and that struggle everyone has growing up of making it clear to your older relatives that you've matured and you want to be taken more seriously. Those things triumph the fan servicey lore we could have had, and again, we could still get in the future. But for now, there's plenty of other wonderful cartoons to obsess over and theorize about. It's kind of what we've been doing over the last few months. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. How do you feel about this cut story? Love it? Hate it? Somewhere in the middle? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for more of my own thoughts, you can find me at ARTWITHKODA. We're also on Instagram. Special thanks to ARTWITHKODA for creating an awesome thumbnail. For more of his wonderful art, you can find him on Instagram at ARTWITHKODA and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Link down below in the description. Help Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. ARTWITHKODA signing out.